Ninjago's Zane. Julian is far more than just the ninja of ice. He's a living Nindroid with one of the deepest character arcs in the entire series. From his mysterious origin as an android created to protect the innocent, to his heroic sacrifice and resurrection as the Titanium Ninja, Zane's journey is packed with emotion, growth, and yes, even a bit of humor. In this script, we'll dive into everything you need to know about Zane, his origin, key story arcs in the Ninjago TV series with a touch of comic lore where it fits, and the meaningful themes behind his evolution. Spoiler warning, we're assuming you're all caught up with the show, so nothing is off limits. Zane was created by Dr. Julian in a hidden workshop deep in Birchwood Forest, built with a purpose, to protect those who cannot protect themselves. In many ways, Dr. Julian raised Zane like a son, teaching him life skills and morals as they lived together in quiet isolation. Interestingly, Zane wasn't initially an elemental ninja. He gained his ice powers when the previous elemental master of ice visited Dr. Julian one night and passed the power onto him. Tragically, when Dr. Julian grew old and neared death, he disabled Zane's memory switch so that his son wouldn't feel the pain of losing him. As a result, when Master Wu eventually discovered Zane and recruited him to join a new family of ninja at the monastery of Spinjitzu, Zane had no memory of his creator and believed he had no parents. This early chapter explains a lot about Zane's initially aloof demeanor. He was a loner, with unanswered questions about his past. Despite being a robot, Zane quickly proved to be one of the most warm-hearted members of the ninja team. He brought a lot of computer intelligence to the group, often serving as the logical problem solver. But he was also unfailingly kind, brave, and selfless. As one official description jokes, Zane has a big heart, even though he doesn't actually have one. From the very start, his calm compassion balanced out his more hot-headed teammates like Kai. In those early days training with Kai, Cole, and Jay under Sensei Wu, Zane's odd habits, like cooking strange meals or literally powering down for sleep while standing up, made him stand out. The others knew he was different, and Zane himself felt it too, often wondering about the family he never knew and why he didn't quite fit in. Zane's first huge turning point comes when he discovers the truth about himself. In Season 1 of Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu, Zane follows a mysterious falcon into the woods and stumbles upon Dr. Julian's old workshop. There, in the episode TikTok, Zane learns that he is a Nindroid, a synthetic human-like robot, and that Dr. Julian was his father/creator. This revelation answers the questions that had haunted him. Who am I? In accepting his true identity, Zane unlocks his full potential as the Ninja of Ice. In fact, Zane is the first of the ninja to reach his true potential, achieved precisely because he embraced who he really is. In that memorable moment, Zane saves his friends from the peril of the treehorns, giant creatures, by unleashing a burst of ice energy, symbolizing how understanding oneself can unleash great power. After realizing he was a robot designed to protect those who cannot protect themselves, Zane fully comes into his own. He becomes more confident in his role on the team, knowing that his difference, being a Nindroid, is actually his strength. He even reunites with the once-thought-dead Dr. Julian in a later adventure, happily accepting the gentle inventor as his father figure when they cross paths again. But even with lingering mysteries solved, Zane's journey was just beginning, and far greater trials were on the horizon. As the ninja's adventures continued, Zane's life gained something he never expected: love. In Season 3, rebooted, Zane meets PIXAL, primary interactive external assistant lifeform, a female android who works with tech genius Cyrus Borg. PIXAL starts off as just an efficient assistant, but she and Zane gradually form a special bond, two machines discovering emotions. Zane grew closer to PIXAL, finding in her a kindred spirit. Their connection highlights a key theme with Zane. Despite being robotic, he is profoundly empathetic and capable of human emotion. This relationship would become an emotional anchor for him throughout the series. Meanwhile, Season 3's main threat was the digital overlord, who returns by corrupting Borg's technology and mass-producing an army of Nindroid drones, ironically built from Zane's own blueprints. In the intense finale, the Overlord transforms into the Golden Master, an all-powerful evil being, and nearly annihilates Ninjago. In this climactic battle, Zane faces the Golden Master and makes the ultimate sacrifice. He gives his own life to defeat the Overlord, saving Ninjago from destruction. It's a heartbreaking and heroic moment. Zane's memories flash before him, and with a peaceful smile, he accepts death if it means protecting those he loves. This scene had many fans in tears, as Zane, the one designed to protect others, fulfills that destiny in the most selfless way possible. Zane reborn in his titanium form, sporting his silver cybernetic body and new armor. Despite Zane's apparent death in the Season 3 finale, he wasn't gone for long. In true sci-fi fashion, Zane was rebuilt, resurrecting himself in a new, sleeker titanium body using spare parts and his digital consciousness. When Season 4, Tournament of Elements, begins, we learn Zane's revival didn't go smoothly. Master Chen, a villainous warlord, captured the newly reconstructed Zane and held him prisoner on a mysterious island. The ninja team eventually finds Zane, now the titanium ninja with a chrome face and enhanced powers, and free him from Chen's clutches. Zane's return is joyous for his friends, especially PIXAL, who had uploaded herself into Zane's system earlier to save herself. However, Zane himself struggles with being reborn upon first reuniting. He even insists, "I am the titanium ninja now," almost denying he was ever the same old Zane. This identity crisis is symbolic of how much his sacrifice changed him. In a deep analysis by fans, Zane proclaiming he's no longer the white ninja, but the titanium ninja, reflects a profound truth. The Zane who came back is not the same as before. The white ninja didn't know how it feels to die. Zane is no longer the white ninja because he does know how it feels to die, one fan noted. He has been through death and rebirth, and it has fundamentally changed his perspective. Zane is still himself, caring, brave, and logical, but now he carries the weight of that ultimate sacrifice. In other words, Zane is not a replica. He's the culmination of his experiences. This growth is part of what makes his character so compelling over the years. After returning as the titanium ninja, Zane continues to be a cornerstone of the team through many wild adventures. In Season 4's Tournament of Elements, once freed from Chen's prison, Zane helps his fellow elemental masters defeat Chen's Anachondri cultists and prevent a new Serpentine War. By Season 5, Possession, Zane is back to fighting form, now sporting a sleek new titanium look, as the ninja face Moro, the ghostly master of wind, and an army of specters. Zane's Nindroid nature proves advantageous against ghosts, who can't possess a robot, and ultimately the team triumphs when Nia unlocks her water powers to wipe out the cursed spirits. Shortly after, Zane and crew take on Nadakon the Jinn in Season 6, Skybound. During this arc, Zane faces one of his personal fears, losing PIXAL, when a desperate wish backfires and traps him in Nadakon's magical sword. He is later freed when Jay undoes those events with a final wish, but the experience rattles him. Even through these struggles, Zane's resolve to protect others never wavers. The Day of the Departed special and Season 7, Hands of Time, bring more challenges. Zane fights returning past foes like Cryptor, a rogue Nindroid general, and helps defeat the time-traveling Hands of Time twins. However, amid the chaos of the Vermilion War, Zane suffers a heartbreaking blow. He loses contact with PIXAL. During an ambush, PIXAL's physical android body is destroyed, and Zane can no longer hear her in his system, leaving him to think she's truly gone. This loss hits Zane hard, but his story with PIXAL isn't over yet. In Season 8, Zane goes undercover, donning a black leather jacket and an alias, Snake Jaguar, to infiltrate a criminal biker gang. During this mission, he encounters Mr. E, a mysterious silent biker who turns out to be a Nindroid as well. The two robotic ninjas engage in a rivalry, testing Zane's limits. Amidst this chaos, Zane gets a wonderful surprise. PIXAL is still alive in a sense. She has become the new Samurai X, operating in a new robotic body and helping the ninja in secret. Reunited with PIXAL, Zane finds renewed strength. Together, they battle to stop Princess Harumi and the Sons of Garmadon from resurrecting Lord Garmadon. Although they fail to prevent Garmadon's resurrection, Zane and the team continue the fight into Season 9, Hunted, where Zane ends up trapped in another realm, the First Realm, alongside the other original ninja. There, he is briefly captured by dragon hunters who exploit his elemental power, but he resourcefully escapes with his friends. By the end of that saga, Zane helps Lloyd and Nia defeat Garmadon's giant Colossus and liberate Ninjago City. The March of the Oni special sees Zane and the team face the primordial darkness of the Oni. In a climactic move, the ninja, with Master Wu and even Garmadon's help, form the Tornado of Creation to obliterate the Oni threat once and for all. This victory ushers in a period of peace, but naturally it doesn't last long, especially for Zane. Perhaps Zane's most harrowing ordeal comes in Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, where he faces the darkness within himself. It begins when Asphira, an evil serpentine sorceress, ambushes Zane. Using an ancient spell, Asphira banishes Zane to the Neverrealm, a frozen, feudal realm, sending him decades into its past. Stranded alone in this icy world, Zane is found by a manipulative advisor named Vex. Taking advantage of Zane's confusion and even erasing his memories, Vex tricks Zane into using a corrupted scroll of power. Zane, over roughly 60 long years in the Neverrealm's past, falls under Vex's influence and becomes the tyrannical Ice Emperor, conquering the realm with an army of blizzard samurai. With his skin turned icy blue and his heart turned cold by memory loss, the once kind Zane unwittingly rules as a despotic figure, casting the land into eternal winter. For the audience, seeing Zane as the Ice Emperor is dramatic. It's a good character gone bad trope, but done in a tragic way, since Zane isn't evil by choice. He's a victim of manipulation. Decades later, the other ninja finally arrive in the Neverrealm searching for their lost friend. Lloyd and his allies are shocked to discover that the fearsome Ice Emperor is Zane. When Lloyd confronts him, it's an emotional emotional battle of wills. In the end, a moment of compassion triggers Zane's memories. Vex mentions how Lloyd failed to protect his friends, which echoes Zane's deepest purpose and breaks the spell on his mind. Zane, horrified at what he'd done under corruption, shatters the Forbidden Scroll and relinquishes his title of Ice Emperor. He then helps restore the Never Realm, freeing its people from their frozen suffering. Redeemed, Zane returns home to Ninjago with his friends, carrying yet another heavy experience to shape his character. Notably, the Ice Emperor saga left Zane with lingering trauma. It even resurfaces later on, but we'll get to that in a moment. After coming back from the Never Realm, Zane sits out the team's next adventure in Prime Empire, Season 12, initially, since entering a digital video game world could overwrite his code. Instead, he stays in Ninjago to investigate the mystery behind the Prime Empire game. Zane's computer skills prove vital, as he uncovers the truth about the game's AI villain, Unagami. However, Zane is captured by a mechanic who uses him as a living power source to open a portal. Yes, Zane gets hooked up to a battery like the Matrix. Don't worry, he's rescued and even helps defeat Unagami in the end. Zane's role here is more sidelined, but it reinforces how being a Nindroid can be a double-edged sword. His digital nature makes him both a target and a key asset. In Season 13, Master of the Mountain, Zane shows off one of his most endearing qualities, his compassion, even toward enemies. When the ninja delve into an underground kingdom, Zane and Kai get thrown into a gladiator pit to face a supposedly fearsome beast known as the Mino. Instead of slaying it, Zane realizes the creature is in pain and scared. He gently removes its armor and calms it, essentially taming the beast and turning it into an ally. Riding the now docile Mino into battle, Zane helps the team defeat the Skull Sorcerer, a victory achieved through understanding rather than pure aggression. Moments like this underline that Zane's strength isn't just in spinjitzu or weapons, but in his big heart and logic working together. Fast forward through a quick island adventure, Season 14's The Island, and into Season 15, Seabound, Zane faces another emotional crucible. When the villainous Prince Kalmar awakens the gargantuan sea serpent Wojira, Ninjago is threatened by a massive flood. Zane, being an android, stoically dives into action under the ocean, saving as many people as possible from the flooding city. But even his power has limits against a giant angry sea serpent. Ultimately, it is Nia, Master of Water, who sacrifices herself, merging with the ocean to become one with the sea and stop Wojira's rampage. Nia's loss is devastating to the whole team, especially Zane. Remember, he knows what it's like to sacrifice oneself. At Nia's memorial, Zane stands alongside his friends mourning her, undoubtedly reminded of his own sacrifice. Losing Nia has a profound effect on Zane. By the beginning of Crystallized, the final storyline of the original series, Zane has done something unprecedented. He shut off his own emotion meter to cope with the grief. Ever the logical being, he reasons that if he can turn off his feelings, he won't have to hurt. This shows a more somber side of Zane. He is willing to sacrifice even his positive emotions to avoid pain. However, as the Crystal King's new villainous plot unfolds, Zane gradually realizes he can't lead effectively without his heart. A chance encounter with a runaway girl named Sally, who misses her parents, triggers Zane's empathy. He sees her tears and his emotional subroutines reboot, allowing him to feel again. Zane comes to understand that having emotions is a strength, not a weakness. With his feelings restored, Zane rejoins his team in the final battle against the Overlord's Crystal Army. During that fight, he even confronts a vestige of his old Ice Emperor persona within a crystalline simulation. In a poignant bit of closure, Zane faces his dark side, forgives himself, and in doing so regains his full power and inner peace. It's a full-circle moment that shows how far Zane has come, from a robot uncertain of his identity to a hero who has mastered not just ice and technology, but his own spirit. Even after defeating the Overlord, for good this time, Zane's story doesn't quite end. In Ninjago, Dragons Rising, a new series set years later, a cataclysmic event called the Merge has combined realms and scattered the ninja. Zane ends up deactivated and stored in the Monastery of Imperium, waiting in stasis until he's reawakened by former teammates Kai and Nia many years later. Ever the reliable hero, Zane literally raises the monastery, now a flying fortress, and aids a new generation of ninja in their fight to restore balance to the merged realms. This epilogue highlights that Zane endures as a guardian figure. Even after a century's worth of adventures, thanks to time travel and stasis, he's technically one of the oldest ninja at around 100 years old. He's still there to answer the call when needed. Finally, let's talk about what truly defines Zane and makes him such a fan-favorite character. Zane embodies selflessness, intelligence, and love. He began as an outsider, an android trying to understand human life, and ended up arguably the most human of all the ninja in spirit. He's logical and level-headed, yet deeply caring about his friends and innocence. He's a fearless fighter dedicated to helping others and safeguarding peace, consistently living up to the principle Dr. Julianne built into him. Time and again, Zane sacrifices for the greater good, whether it's jumping in front of a beam meant for another or literally giving his life. And despite all the tragedy he's faced, dying, losing his father, being enslaved as the Ice Emperor, losing friends, Zane remains fundamentally good and hopeful. He's also not without quirks. There's a fun, almost childlike side to Zane that occasionally surfaces. Who can forget the time he accidentally wore a pink ninja suit for training, or when he literally flipped a switch on his chest to activate his humor mode, leading him to dance and sing "Hello, My Baby" in the middle of a mission. These lighthearted moments endeared Zane to fans, showing that even a stoic robot can have a sense of humor, even if he doesn't quite understand the joke. His relationship with PIXAL adds another layer, demonstrating Zane's capacity to love. Together, they're a duo that proves love isn't limited by circuits and code. Zane's legacy in Ninjago is profound. He was the first of the modern ninja to unlock his true potential and the first to achieve the advanced NRG form, a testament to his inner balance and focus. He's often the team's secret weapon. Whether it's outsmarting digital overlords or enduring hardships that would break others, Zane pulls through. As one of the original quartet of ninja, he's been there since the very beginning. Way of the Ninja was his debut episode, and his evolution has been arguably the most dramatic. Nostalgic fans who watch the series from the start have literally grown up with Zane, from his awkward kitchen antics to his epic duel with the Overlord, from the quiet robot of few words to the heart and soul of the team. In summary, Zane is everything you need to know about loyalty and growth in Ninjago. His story teaches us about accepting who you are, the power of sacrifice, and the idea that our experiences, good or bad, shape us into stronger people, or Nindroids, over time. Whether he's the White Ninja, the Titanium Ninja, or even the Ice Emperor, at his core, Zane Julian remains the Protector Doctor. Julian intended him to be a brave, selfless hero with ice in his veins and an indomitable spirit. And that is everything you need to know about Zane, Ninjago's icy-hearted and big-hearted Nindroid ninja.